News Tonight. I'm Laureen Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. We start off with our first headlining story this evening. President Museveni has been hailed for his value addition vision that led to the setting up of a government-owned state-of-the-art leather factory in Kawumu village, Luero district. The president was commended by a delegation from the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, who had paid a visit to the Tannery on Thursday. The delegation, full of experts in the leather industry, while representatives from Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, Zimbabwe, Eritrea and Malawi are in Uganda for their 13th annual Regional Consultative Forum of the Africa Leather and Leather Products Institute. They described Kawumu Tannery, located at the Presidential Demonstration Farm in Makulubita Sub-County, Luero District, as a confirmation that Africa is moving forward. The 12 billion shillings facility that was commissioned by the President in October this year sits on 10 acres of land with an extension plan which will cover an additional 10 acres. The State House Controller, Miss Jane Bareche, welcomed the COMESA delegation to Kawumu Leather Tannery, saying their visit will help Uganda improve their leather production. She informed the team that despite its infant stages, the factory has shown a lot of potential because the leather produced is on high demand. She added that in future, a shoe-making factory is going to be established to expand the value addition vision of the president and job creation. From Zambia, Professor Stiwala Mundia, who was equally impressed by the factory, pledged to work with the government of Uganda in terms of research and called upon the COMESA region to work as a team and fill up the markets. Mr. Abdul Hakim Sekandi, who is serving as board member of the Africa Leather Institute, also chairman of the leather industry in Uganda, commended the government of Uganda for the great strides made so far in developing the leather industry. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has encouraged the newly wedded children of the Archbishop Kazimba Mugalu to make God a priority in their marriage. The president, who is represented by the Vice President Jessica Lupo, applauded the children for bringing honor and pride to the family and to also reflect on the vows made.
Upon your wonderful decision, enter into holy matrimony. Today, you are starting a new chapter in your lives as a husband and wife. I commend you for taking this important step and the courage to vow before God. I wish you joy and fulfillment in your marriage. I want to thank the two families, the most Reverend Dr. Stephen and Mama Margaret Agai Kazimba Mugalu, and Mr. Lutwam Isaac and Miss Sue Bisara. Today, your children have given you honor and pride because you labored to instill into them the right values through your constant guidance and exemplary conduct. To the bride and groom, today you have become husband and wife, and we have all come here as witnesses to the eternal vows you have made before God, to love and cherish each other. I pray that you live to the fulfillment of your beautiful name, Wagala, that is to love.
The appeals chamber in The Hague has dismissed all the 90 grounds of appeal filed by the former LRA leader Dominic Ongwen and upheld the 25-year sentence in the case where Ongwen was challenging the trial chamber's decision. In dismissing the appeal, court was of the view that the applicant failed to prove to court with evidence that the lower court erred in law when it convicted Ongwen on 61 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity.
The former commander of Lord Resistance Army, Dominic Ongwen, appealed a conviction and sentence of 25 years in prison by the International Criminal Court situated in Hague. Dominic Ongwen was convicted with 61 counts of crimes of war and crimes against humanity. Ongwen presented 90 grounds of appeal, saying the trial chamber erred in law, facture and procedure in convicting and sentencing him with offences. Ongwen told court that court also erred in law when it relied on the evidence of acts that he was not charged with, causing prejudice and making the trial unfair. Other grounds include the failure by the trial court to adequately address the issue of mental illness and race, under which Ongwen was operating, among other grounds. The panel of 5 judges of the International Criminal Court Appeals Chamber, Judge Luzdel Kamin, Judge Piatao Hafmask, Judge Solomi Balungi Bosa, Judge Reina Lapin and Judge Gosha Rod Kipandize presided over the appeal. After perusing submissions from both sides, basing on the doctor's evidence, the appeal chamber confirmed that Ongwen did not suffer any mental illness before and during trial.
The appeal chamber concludes that the defense has not demonstrated any error in relation to the trial chamber's finding on duress as a ground of excluding criminal responsibility pursuant Article 31(1)(d) of the statute.
Court was not also convinced that Ongwen did not participate in abduction, forced marriage and forced pregnancy, yet he was the commander by then.
That while there was evidence that some persons did believe in the spiritual powers of the Joseph Kony, the evidence consistently showed that for many persons who stayed in the LRA longer, their belief followed a pattern.
Basing on offences Dominic Ongwen was found guilty with, the appeal chamber agreed with the lower court that all the relevant crimes Ongwen committed them during his adult age. With the issue of environment, which may have forced Ongwen to commit the offences, court agreed with the trial chamber's decision. By dismissing the ground, the appeal chamber objected to all the 90 grounds, challenging the conviction and sentence against Dominic Ongwen in the decision of 4-1. Prosecution in this matter was represented by Mami Mandie, and defense counsel was Charles Teleke Taku. Dominic Ongwen committed these offences in northern Uganda between July 2002 and 31st December 2005. Deborah Nama Monde, UBC News.
Now, there is tension among residents of Waraba Town Council in Koboko as suspected South Sudan armed forces have carried out several lootings of property belonging to Ugandans. Now, according to the RDC Koboko, Tom Olinga, the lootings and attacks started 2 days ago where animals and other property have been looted, causing tension among the Koboko residents. He says they are now engaging the authorities of South Sudan to ascertain and verify the suspected armed group. Now on phone we have Tom Olinga, the RDC of Koboko, to explain more.
So when you went and verified these incidents, while we were even talking, addressing the Wananchi about this security lapse on the border, we physically, I and my team physically saw the soldiers in the green uniform across around 500 meters, moving upwards on the hill. We saw them physically, and we almost wanted to engage them, but we were advised not to do so. So we withdrew and went to a place known as the Lambianse, where addressed the Wananchi as far as the unfortunate situation at the border happened. But again, and then from there, we wanted to go and we engaged our counterparts, the security personnel across at Kaya. in order for them to account for these incidences, whether they own it or they don't own it. And at first they were denying. But when we tried to tell them, when we gave them proof, they said they are going to talk to the commander who is on the field to try and ascertain what happened. And they are also going to prevail over the commander to bring back the cow, which they took, and now they are taking almost a whole day without bringing it back. They agree on that. And I also warned them about the crossing of the border when they are armed and they come and destabilize our population across Uganda.
The Mountain Division Commander of the UPDF and Commander Operation Shoja, Major General Dick Olum, have commended the UPDF for having killed the suspected ADF rebels before causing any harm to the civilian population in Ntoroko district. On Tuesday this week, about 30 to 40 suspected ADF rebels engaged in a fight with UPDF in Ntoroko district, where 17 were killed and 13 captured alive. Although a number of civilian populations was displaced, the situation has been brought to control and calm has returned. Major General Dick made the remarks in an interview to UBC as he gave an overall update in the fights between UPDF and suspected ADF rebels in Ntoroko. Philip Aguta reports.
On Tuesday this week, about 30 to 40 suspected ADF rebels crossed from DRC, where they are based, to Uganda's Ntoroko district, where they were engaged in a fight with UPDF's Mount Division. 17 of the ADF rebel members were killed. 13 of them, who were mainly children, were captured alive and 15 guns recovered. Meanwhile, one UPDF officer was killed, one civilian killed, and another one civilian was injured. The Mount Division commander of the UPDF and Commander Operation Shoja, Major General Dick Olumu, has commended the UPDF for having killed the suspected ADF rebels before causing any harm on the civilian population in Ntoroko district.
These guys thought the UPDF was not in place back home in Uganda. They thought the Mountain Division was already fully deployed and totally deployed in DRC. But they didn't know this is one of the most strategic divisions of the UPDF. And we had a fallback position. We had a position backwards in the country.
He says much as the ADF rebels are trying to divert and confuse them, UPDF is standby both in Uganda and in Congo as Operation Shoja continues.
Stupidly, they didn't know what power we had. They started confrontation with my force. And then Colonel Sauro communicated to me, and I immediately left Fort Potro and rushed down to Chibuku and moved further in areas called Kisungu. I went to that area where the fighting was going on, only to realize that Colonel Sauro had already gone into a huge fight with them, and he really hit them hard. On starting to see the dead bodies, that's when we realized they were actually ADF.
Major General Lumo, who is also the commander Operation Shoja, says the attempts by the ADF to cross into Uganda are signs of pressure that UPDF is putting on the rebel group back in Congo.
The bombings in Kampala had reduced a bit. Reduced, but I think totally really reduced and stopped. The shootings had also stopped, but the problems remained in DRC, where so many people were being killed, so many people were being abducted by the ADF. So we went in heavily. We've stopped that nonsense of road ambushes, killings, villages. And for the last 3 months now, the Congolese people have had some peace.
A number of civilian population was displaced on Tuesday, but the situation has been brought to control and calm has returned. I'm Nafka Farida and Philip Aguta.
UBC News Tonight. A truce to have harmony between Speaker of Parliament Anita Among and Housing State Minister Persis Namuganza is being proposed to ensure peace between the two. Minister for Information, Communication and Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, prefers a peaceful resolution as opposed to a censor motion. Addressing journalists at Media Center in Kampala, Baryomunsi appeals to Parliament to concentrate on development-oriented activities as opposed to what he says is petty. We have more details.
It is a matter that continues to dominate the Ugandan media space for about a week now. Accusation and counter-accusation between two female national leaders dominating talks among members of Parliament.
When I read through the censure motion, I didn't find anything scientific to pin the person who is going to be censured. Therefore, I found it without merit, and for me, I think it should collapse.
The talk is as a result of a discussion on the floor of Parliament that has seen Housing State Minister Pasis Namganza defend herself.
In the future, I intend to move a motion against Honorable Magogo Moses and the Speaker of this House, Anita Mong, for procuring a fraudulent marriage, which is turning into a personal fight in this House.
The matter is now drawn to the attention of government and the ruling NRM party. Dr. Chris Baryomunsi is the Minister for Information, Communications Technology and National Guidance.
We are going to reconcile these two leaders, the Minister and the Right Honorable Speaker. Because the NRM as a party and indeed as government, we believe in the cohesion, we believe in leaders working together, we believe in reconciling people.
Baryomunsi wants a peaceful resolution to the standoff, as opposed to a censure move against the Housing State Minister.
Even when it comes to censuring a minister, there are more convincing grounds and stronger grounds, which probably even would persuade Ugandans that maybe a minister should step down or a minister should be censured. But there's these quarrels between leaders.
He appeals to Parliament to concentrate more on development-intended legislation.
Because Parliament has more useful work that should drain our energy so that Ugandans benefit from a Parliament. We wouldn't want to see a situation where we spend lots of time and energy in such issues.
Baryomunsi's concerns are coming at a time a war of words seems to be erupting between the Deputy Speaker of Parliament and Internal Affairs Minister, General Kahinda Otafire. Otafire recently decried parliamentary congestion, which he said compromises the quality of debate.
I used to talk for 15 minutes. Now I have to compete for 3. Because there are so many, they are only allocated 3 minutes. What do you say in 3 minutes?
This has not rubbed Thomas Taebwa the right way.
The questions of 1986, when some people came from the bush, might be the questions of today. But the answers are totally different. Answers are not those ones where you have to remind us that you came from the bush, you had guns. No, the narrative is totally different.
How far a quest for harmony between Speaker Among and Minister Namganza will go is an anxiety which only time will settle. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you, Henry Okrut. Now, opposition has started a process of filling habeas corpus demanding the release or production of their 25 members who allegedly went missing. Now, this comes after the opposition meeting scheduled with the Prime Minister and the Minister for Internal Affairs this week over the same issue flopped when the two allegedly failed to turn up. We have more details.
The government has never responded.
Opposition in Parliament through their lawyers have started the process of filing habeas corpus demanding the release of their 25 members who allegedly went missing.
We have asked our attorneys to file habeas corpus for the 25 missing persons we logged in Parliament.
This follows a failed meeting with the Prime Minister and the Minister for Internal Affairs that had been scheduled for Wednesday this week. According to the leader of opposition in Parliament, Matthias Mpuuga, the meeting that had been scheduled to resolve the issue flopped after both the Prime Minister and Minister for Internal Affairs snubbed the meeting.
At the prompting of the Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister promised to come and make an account by way of comparing what we are questioning and what they know. And the last meeting was supposed to take place yesterday. None of the persons turned up for that meeting.
Mpuga says they have already secured habeas corpus for 2 of their members, John Chibalaman Kanata Muhammad, awaiting response from court. On the fate of the 2 members of parliament still under custody, leader of opposition says they are still in pursuit of the matter and has asked the judicial arm to exercise independence.
We want to impress upon the judiciary to prove that they are not part of the persecution of these honorable members of parliament.
Similarly, on the irregular misconduct of the former Commissioner Francis Zake, the leader of opposition says Zake's conduct is not intended but is informed by his past history of torture. He says the opposition will not criminalize Zake as long as he has not gone against any law. He noted that opposition will not also front anyone for the position of commissioner until Zake's appeal is handled.
He will have my back because that's his way of doing things. Of course, we get concerned when he gets into trouble. It means our duty to be by his side to get out of trouble.
On whether opposition should take part in the censure of Minister Namuganza, Mpuga says opposition has a right to involve in any matter intended for disciplinary action.
As long as she remains a person believing that she's above the law, we are interested. And therefore, there's no legal bar to any of our members to keenly follow and interest themselves in matters that will put her in the right shape.
It should be noted that both MP Francis Zake and Minister Persis Namuganza have been regular clients in the Parliamentary Committee on Rules, Discipline and Privileges over alleged misconduct. This saw Francis Zake relieved of his appointed position of Commissioner of Parliament, and a motion moved on censorship of Minister Persis Namuganza. Susan Naong and Gloria Guitabinji reporting for UBC TV.
Minister of State for Information Communication Technology Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao has implored the youths to embrace self-employment through innovations. Sebugwao was speaking at the launch of the MTN ACE program that is aimed at empowering young innovators to groom new entrepreneurs.
Minister of State for Information, Communication and Technology, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao has challenged the youth to create jobs through innovation. Sebugwao was officiating at the launch of the MTN ACE program.
Don't look for jobs, create some for yourselves. It's better, and you feel better and secure if you are self-employed.
The ACE program is now open to application on our website link, as 250 applicants will be selected.
Log in, go in, fill in your details, right, and then lodge in your application. I think the deadline for application is the 13th of January in the coming year 2023. Give us all the information that is required, and then the team will go through and identify the top qualifying applications based on the quality of the presentation of the application that is done.
The 9 months program has 3 categories: career, innovation and skills.
The innovation is the longest, which is running 9 months, and the reason it is long is because it's for professionals, and it also deals with enterprises that are already in existence.
With at least 60% of Uganda's population being the youth, there is still need to bridge the skills gap to enable them build career and create employment. Marian Wumcha, UBC News.
Nurturing Uganda-China Development Cooperation in the teaching of Chinese language and culture in Uganda is taking shape as more Chinese language teachers and instructors continue to graduate and extend Chinese language lessons to Ugandan secondary schools. Now, while addressing the Chinese teachers pass out at Luyanzi Institute of Technology, at the Executive Director at the National Curriculum Development Center, Dr. Grace Baguma, expressed gratitude to the Chinese Embassy in Uganda for fulfilling the signed declaration at the Dakar, Senegal 2012 Africa-China Forum towards supporting the development of Confucius institutes in Africa.
I now thank everyone here, and I thank my
The advent of promoting Chinese language teaching in Uganda began at Luyan's College in 2011, and this a source of pride to the many Chinese investors and businessmen flocking into the country. The Executive Director at the National Curriculum Development Center, Dr. Grace Baguma, expressed gratitude to the Chinese government for fulfilling her commitment to the Dakar, Senegal Declaration of supporting the promotion of Chinese language.
So we are not yet there. We have only 60 secondary schools out of that, and we want to get 1,000 secondary schools teaching the Chinese language. Consequently, a training syllabus was designed. The NCDC tirelessly works on the syllabus of teaching Chinese language at ordinary level, and more recently, the A level was approved.
According to the director of the Alliance Institute of Technology, Engineer Ayubu Soma, 149 teachers have graduated and are advancing the agenda for close ties with the People's Republic of China.
We need, first of all, to understand the global economic direction. It is very important always to associate with such successes that Chinese economy is achieving.
The Chinese ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Zhang Lizong, pledged a total commitment to support Chinese language studies and other national development agenda as the way of strengthening the bilateral interest of the sister states.
And many investors from China, especially private investors, come here to invest in these industrial parks. And I think that sets a very good examples in Uganda's process of achieving industrializations.
The director, Confucius Institute of Makerere University, and the head of Institute of African Languages, Dr. Gilbert Gumoshabe, expresses the need to train more local Chinese instructors, saying this is the current dilemma for scaling out the teaching of the language.
Because one teacher cannot handle senior 1 to senior 4. You need to, as you go to HSC where the syllabus has already been approved, and those who have finished senior 4 are going to senior 6.
The Dean School of Languages, Makerere University, Sauda Namiao, says Chinese instruction at the university and in the schools is still challenged by instruction materials.
Right now we don't have language labs, we don't have those infrastructures that we need to teach a language in the sense of teaching it.
Abdul Nasser Lowama and Douglas Setumba for UBC News.
The United Nations High Commission for Refugees, in partnership with Windle International Uganda, have released six research survey findings regarding the effective provision of quality education for vulnerable groups in refugee and host communities in Uganda. The research findings have been disseminated during a half-day stakeholder meeting at Golden Tulip Hotel in Kampala.
The Ministry of Education and Sports is considering integrating refugee community education into the overall national education system as a way of ensuring inclusive education for all, as enshrined in the country's National Development Plan 3 and Vision 2030. This has been revealed by the Information Management Officer with the Ministry's Education Response Plan Secretariat, Leonard Jime Andy, during the dissemination meeting for 6 research findings on refugee education.
As we move towards inclusion, and we know we want to include refugees in the national planning, so I'm calling upon all of us as partners to support in our individual capacities. This is something that we need to embrace as a government program.
The research studies were carried out by researchers from Windle International Uganda, an education support management project funded by the United Nations High Commission for Refugees in partnership with the Office of the Prime Minister.
such studies, such researches help us to rightly put our fundings, put our energies, put all our resources in the right place or in the right intervention.
Conducting the study was to have evidence for our programming. Usually our focus is on education, but we want to build a body of evidence to be able to guide our programs.
Among the topics covered in the research surveys include irregular attendance and school dropout, menstrual hygiene management, scholastic materials distribution, among others. The district education officers of Adjumani and Ntoroko respectively commented on the relevance of the project.
Filling the gap which government have not unable to fill. So their performance is 95% in respect of funding gaps.
To get engaged in training the school management committees, the PTA, and the staff on their roles. School stakeholders need to perform their roles.
Edward Colin Juko for UBC, Kampala.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution, or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone, or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312 206 400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
Be alert. Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Paying for groceries the old way.
3, 4, yeah.
Allow me. Paying for groceries with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to conveniently pay for goods and services. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
That's my wife.
At At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us. Now, the Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs provides the policy framework to the armed forces to discharge their responsibilities in the context of the defence of the country. Now, in 2022, the ministry undertook its mandate of safeguarding the citizens, maintaining peace and security in the country despite hiccups of insecurity enraged on national security by a Ugandan-based rebel group in Congo, that is the ADF, bomb blast and internal rebel activities characterized the threat and overstrained the defense budget. Now, UBC's Haruna Mutesa looks at the defense sector performance review in the 3 quarters of the financial year running.
The Ministry of Defence and Veterans Affairs is a ministry responsible for national defence and security of Uganda. Its mandate is to strengthen and build strategic security capacity to address both internal and external threats. In the Finance Budget 2022-2023, the defence sector was allocated Uganda shillings 3.9 trillion to boost peace, security and stability, to enhance the enforcement of the rule of law to remain the key among government priorities. 2022 defense sector encountered a number of challenges, including the bomb attack in Kampala by ADF terrorists and numerous rebel activities within the country.
We have done what is necessary to keep law and peace in this country. But it's also important that the citizens need to be doing their part because of foundation security. Because foundation security is done by the citizens and the civil police.
The joint security agencies investigated suspected rebel activities after the anti-government leaflets were circulated in several areas of Mityana and Kiboga district in the month of July 2022. Suspects were arrested and arraigned in the courts of law waiting for trials.
The existence of local councils is indeed intended to help security agencies to maintain law and order in the country. So maybe we need to cross-check the level of appreciation by the local councils of their responsibility in their areas.
The Ministry of Defence flagged off the 41st Tarehe Sita anniversary celebrations in Mbale by UPDF.
Tarehe Sita 2022. This year's theme, retracing the people's struggle for peace and security for a modern Uganda.
Tarehe Sita civil military engineering works embarked on construction of 2 classroom blocks at Imoni Primary School, construction of outpatient waiting shed at Namakwekwe, and unveiled more oxygen plants at Mbale Hospital. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Yuri Kaguta Museveni, commissioned the first National Defence College in Uganda at Naminya, Njeru Town Council in Buyukwe District.
People wasting money going out for these courses outside. Why don't you do it here? And as General Mbadu was saying, it took some time, but I congratulate you. Now you have taken off.
The college is meant to save a lot of money that the force has been injecting into facilitating training of its officers abroad in countries like South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Egypt, USA, and UK.
28th of January 2022, we are very happy to witness the commissioning of the college, whose motto is leadership with knowledge.
The defense sector also facilitated hosting of 12th East African Community Armed Forces Command field training exercise, ushirikiano imara. The objective was to promote the East African Community Integration Agenda by enhancing joint state of readiness of East African Community.
It is purposed to practice the East African Community Partner States Armed Forces, civilians and other key holders and other key stakeholders in planning and conducting operations in an integrated manner.
UPDF Chief for CIMIC, Brigadier General Emmanuel Rashande, led the UPDF contingent to Zanzibar and Tanzania to participate in the 4th East African Community Armed Forces CIMIC activities. General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, promoted Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba to full general. He subsequently also promoted Operation Suja Commander Major General Muhanga Kayanja to Lieutenant General and appointed him as the new commander of land forces. He was replaced by Major General Dick Olum. The president also promoted Major General Sam Okiding to the rank of Lieutenant General and deployed him as Force Commander, Africa Transition Mission in Somalia. Despite these promotions, the force lost one of its historical general, Eritumine, who had been battling with lung cancer for some time but lost the battle of it at Aga Khan Hospital in Nairobi, Kenya. The Bushwa hero was the longest serving chairman of the UPDF General Court Martial, permanent member to the Army Council High Command, and UPDF representative in Parliament. He was expected to retire with the other 48 generals of the UPDF who were retired at a ceremony held at State House Entebbe.
I thank God for this day, for enabling us to travel this road together.
Among the notable ones was RO 0031 General David Sejusa, former coordinator of intelligence services, Lieutenant General Andrew Guti, formerly chairman of the General Court Martial, and Lieutenant General Mugume John, among others. In another development on the defense sector performance review, President Museveni commissioned 102 Special Forces Command Officers housing units at Lunyo in Entebbe municipality.
Along the way, we said no, the time has come to start doing something about the accommodation. We have been handling food, clothes, and weapons for soldiers. We are now handling a little bit of salaries, but also let's handle the issue of accommodation.
As part of enhancing UPDF security and defense cooperation with other foreign states, the Minister of Defense, Vincent Yamunanga Kisempija, signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Forensic Science University of Gujarati, India. In the attempt to respond to the future external and internal security threats of the country, the defense sector undertook a comprehensive program to recruit Ugandans into the National Army. The recruitment exercise attracted composed and patriotic Ugandans ready to serve in regional and specialized units. On the external front line, Uganda and DR Congo extended the joint military operation with the Democratic Republic of Congo to hunt down the Allied Democratic Forces, ADF. Under the agreement codenamed Operation Suja, UPDF and FRDC deployed a joint force in areas controlled by the ADF and share intelligence. In a nutshell, boosting the defense budget would be the bedrock of socio-economic transformation of Uganda. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC.
Thank you, Haruna Mutesasira, for that report. Now, UBC News Tonight takes another short break, but we return with business news.
It's super fast internet. It's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Over the years, we've dreamed to get onto the world stage. We've had that dream crushed. We've witnessed a total defeat of what could have been our greatest moment. We've felt our spirits go up, only to take a hard fall. We've had our fires burn out and leave only scars. We've seized the wind and had it pulled from our grasp. We've seen pain and we've seen loss of the last fragments of hope. But we are made of resilience, and resilience never stops dreaming. So we will dream even bigger with the Cranes Cup Bowl 2026. Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup.
Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup. For every Now Special you buy, we will give 50 shillings to the Uganda Cranes 2026 fund. You will also get the chance to choose how the Cranes Cup Bowl contributions are spent. Now Special, official beer of the FIFA World Cup and official beer partner of the Uganda Cranes.
Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold on much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
The festive season is here and it's Christmas in 4G from Airtel. Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda, now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones this holiday season.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. Happy holidays this festive season with Airtel, the smartphone network.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Paying for groceries the old way.
3, 4, 5. I don't even know what he's doing. 7, 8, 9.
Allow me. Paying for groceries with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to conveniently pay for goods and services. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
That's my wife. Yeah, let me just take this quick.
Welcome back from that break. And now into the business scene. Ugandans will in a little while receive good news from Meru Petroleum Limited that has plans of reducing prices of fuel. The company's general manager, Daniel Mushabe, says this is what the company intends to give the nation as the end of the year gift.
Since the rise of fuel prices about a year ago, Uganda's economy has never been the same. The price of everything soared, leaving locals to thrive on bare minimum. But eventually the price kept reducing, but still not at levels that Mount Meru Petroleum has promised Ugandans, starting next week as their end-of-year gift.
We are projecting that by next week, as you've noticed the decline of fuel prices, pump prices will continue to decline. And I think it's another Christmas present for people who will be traveling up country. So you don't have to be worried, especially we at Mount Meru Petroleum Uganda Limited. We assure you that we are prepared for the season and we'll be giving other Christmas presents, meaning in terms of prices, because the current loadings that we are making, we are getting at lower prices.
Mount Meru Petroleum operates several outlets, mainly along the pronounced highways in Uganda.
The future looks so bright. We believe next year the economy will improve and prices will continue to fall for both cooking oil, soap, and fuel.
The Uganda Hotel Owners Association has urged hotel owners across Uganda to embrace the establishment of a solar energy grid as a backup to the hydropower outages to prevent inconveniences to the clients. This was highlighted during the launch of the partnership between Uganda Hotel Owners Association and Solar Now in Kampala.
In a bid to counter the rampant hydropower outage challenge, the Uganda Hotel Owners Association and Solar Now have launched a partnership for reliable solar energy.
We're partnering to speak to their members about the possibilities of solar energy. Energy is a concern to most of the hotel owners in Uganda, both in terms of reliability and in terms of cost. So we are here because we believe that we can help hotel owners in Uganda with accessing more reliable energy, but also saving on their energy costs.
Jean Byamujisha, the Executive Director, Uganda Hotel Owners Association, urged hotel owners both in rural and urban settings to use the opportunity of the availability of a cheap solar now grid for the smooth running of their hospitality businesses.
One of the big issues that we have, and that is to do with energy, solar lighting. We see what is happening with umeme, the load shedding is too much. One of the biggest complaints has been that the bills are too high. Then when they cut you off, the bills still come when they are high. Umeme doesn't reach some areas. lodges in the parks are off the grid. Some of the hotels upcountry are off the grid. So we needed a more durable but also sustainable solution for lighting and energy consumption in the hotels.
UBC spoke to hotel owners to elaborate their experience with power shortage and how the partnership made seem to them.
If the solar can produce like 100 and you only need like I think 200 watts in a day, then that means that will cut on the cost of your car, that you'll only use 100 from your car and then 100 from solar, which will make it a bit cheaper. So that is the importance of this partnership, and that's how it's really going to help benefit the program.
Solar is always there helping us for lighting, for the heaters. We are covered. There are a few days when the power goes down a bit, when say over rains, then we get a bit of challenge, but not too much.
The partnership for solar electricity in hotels does not only aim at saving power bills, but also enhance quality standards and services in facilities. Joshua Kagor, UBC News.
The world of sports, as we all know by now, France has booked a final with Argentina on Sunday. Now, yesterday, France halted Morocco's World Cup run in a 2-0 win. We have more details in this report.
The World Cup's second semi-final game was epic, not only in Qatar, but equally in Africa. Here in Uganda, fans in Western Uganda had a chance to watch the game on big screens. At a Jeep hotel in Barara, it was evident that 90% of the fans who showed up rallied behind Morocco. And when Morocco trailed, the sunken faces of spectators at a Jeep told it all. When the second goal came through, it apparently downed into the passionate fans that France was then unstoppably cruising to the finals. Morocco's win is an indicator that the national team, the Cranes, can equally make it to the World Cup. Nile breweries are making this dream come true with the Cranes Cabo campaign, where each contributes to the Cranes qualification campaign.
We are here to inspire Ugandan greatness. So we are using this opportunity to drive the Cabo Fund. The fund is geared towards supporting the national side to make it to the World Cup in 2026.
Public viewing points have been set for the finals, and people from the north enjoy the last game live on giant screens. Lydia Chomkama.
Busitema University has flagged off its athletes for the 2022 Federation of East African University Games that start this weekend at Ndeje University in Luero District.
So go and be the best and bring us trophies.
With the long wait finally over and all set for the 2022 Federation of East Africa University Games, Busitema University has flagged off its athletes.
They should believe in themselves, that they have their capability to perform well and even to win. And also they need to concentrate and be disciplined. They need to be disciplined because sports is about discipline.
The Eastern Uganda institution will be represented by close to 50 athletes in several disciplines, including taekwondo, woodball, chess, darts, netball, athletics, and women's football.
We want to take the best, the #1 champions. We are not going to participate, but we are going to compete for this. And we are telling other fellows from other universities that we are prepared for every team coming by our side.
The ones that have been chosen are going to represent Busitema University to the best of its kind, as it is pursuing excellence. So Team Makerere, Team Bulu, Team KIU, just be prepared that the team coming from Busitema University is not an easy team. We are coming to win.
Though it's a reduced number, Busitema, that is part of more than 50 universities expected for the week-long games, remains optimistic, especially in their niche sports.
We are going for the 12th edition of the East Africa University Games. As Busitema University, we are going to participate in that competition at Ndeje University. Everything is going up in terms of prices. Participation fees have been increased. So for you to fit in the amount of money that is in the budget, you have to reduce the number. We had planned to take 200 participants, and we needed about 130 million to participate in such an event. And now we had to cut the number down to 50 participants just to fit. Busitema, we don't give up actually. We fight on. Our participation history is good and we want to maintain that. Our strength is in the mind sports, basically. Scrabble, chess, that's where we fall. And we always have those gold medals and we are going for them even now. Even in other games. This time we are fielding the football women. Our women were the best in the last women championship that we hosted here.
Hosts Ndeja University is the team to beat at the games where more than 7,000 athletes are expected to compete in about 21 disciplines.
All right, well, UBC News Tonight comes to an end, but do join us for our second edition with more stories with myself, Laureen Masika Kazimoto, and my colleague, Muhammad Mugalu. We'll see you at 10.